Zel Boy Army, welcome to another spicy video on the channel. This video is going to be one that's going to give you loads of helpful advice on how to improve. It's going to be specifically aimed at people who are stuck in the gold ranks in FUT Champs, but people lower than that, there's going to be plenty of advice in here to help you. And elite players, you probably find some stuff in here too. This is a full 30-35 minute unedited coaching session. Coaching is one of the best ways to improve on FIFA. I offer obviously all my videos on YouTube for free, but for people who want a bit more in-depth one-on-one help, then coaching, private coaching is something I do. This was a coaching session I did live on my stream. If you're interested in coaching, then the link in my description below will tell you how to access it. And I also offer a variety of different ways, such as £10 to analyze a game on my Twitch stream. There's all these type of things. But yeah, enjoy this lesson. I left it unedited because I wanted you guys to see authentic, genuine how the coaching is. And like I say, enjoy the video. There's going to be plenty I'm sure you guys can learn from it. Have a good one. Let's start recording. Good question, Matty, with a podcast. I just need to get a name for it and then we're good to go, really. I've got some good guests who want to join it. Okay, here we go. Seems quite zoomed out, that. What camera do you use?
The furthest one out. I can't remember what it's called.
Co-op.
Yeah, co-op. Yeah, just a standard co-op. Just so I can see. I try and use my wingers a lot and my fullbacks a lot.
Yeah.
So I use that.
Okay, so straight away here, you've rushed it from the kickoff. One of the things that I say to people is from kickoff, you should be taking your time, and it's a common mistake I see people do. You have to think here, even if you get the ball here, which it never was going to work, but even if you get it, he has like 4 players there, 3 players there. He outnumbers you quite heavily. It takes a while from kickoff for your players to get forward, so you want to let it build up a bit more. Do you know about like the kickoff boost on the game, Stephen?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you want to make sure the kickoff boost goes in your favour, basically, because it is so big on this game that it's not something you can really risk giving away. Because sometimes I believe as well you can get counter kickoffs. So you just want to take your time. I'd just taken a touch, gone up there. And also Marquinhos, I think he played on his weak foot. He probably should have played on his right, but you have to do everything you can to guarantee it being on you play a strong foot. Okay, so good getting the midfielder back. One thing I noticed there, I think you was holding jockey sometimes and then letting go of it. Generally, I would pretty much nearly always be holding jockey there because it's just going to allow you to turn quicker and make adjustments. So some of the times I get you was trying to run somewhere. If you'd have been holding jockey, you could have turned and got there just as quick anyway, really. And at the same time, if they pass or go near you, jockeying makes it easier to get the ball.
Right. Okay. It's running jockey. I just use running jockey over there.
Yeah, I mean, different people have different opinions on this. In my opinion, I never use running jockey. Defending's probably one of the few things that I think as a pro be top tier at when I'm playing well, and I don't touch the running jockey. I only use jockey. My rule is like if I have to sprint to get somewhere because there's a big gap, I'll get there. Or if I'm on attack and there's a big open space, I'll sprint. But generally, I'll be holding jockey like 95% of the time because when you sprint jockey, your players kind of are on ice skates and they don't really do either. Sprinting obviously is to get somewhere fast, and jockey is to slow down and block, turn, and intercept better. But when you're sprint jockey, you kind of stuck in the middle and not doing either that well. Here again, just a force pass. You want to do these passes when he's either obviously there or on the shoulder to go in behind. Here, I would just through ball at Tim, let him run, and then he either has to commit to you or commit to him. If he commits to him, then you can run with it. If he commits there, you just through ball in behind. Yeah, jockeying's out too. Someone in the stream was asking what rank do you get on Champs?
Got gold 3.
I think you said you did 5 to me, did you?
Yeah, Division 5, yeah. I've been promoted to Division 4 3 times and never won a game. I just got relegated straight away.
We can change that.
We'll see.
I believe. Yep, so good distribution there. Plenty of time, so it's fine. I use assisted jockeying. Okay, I'd be careful there with that first time pass with a centre back. If you look here, there's not really much pressure on you. And that pass there, it was very close to being intercepted. It's one of these, like, I've had coaching sessions with people before where they say, oh, well, but I did score a goal, so I didn't do anything wrong there, or I didn't get intercepted. It's like, it's more just about consistency. And one of the things I'll always try to teach people with FIFA is to be more consistent, because FIFA isn't a game where you can do the same thing and it will always do the same thing, if you get me. If you shoot from there, it's not always going to go in the top corner. If you do this pass here, Stephen, it's not always going to go there. First time pass on a weak foot from Koundé there could have got intercepted, and it's just not a risk worth taking, because if he had intercepted that and he was very close to it, he's got a 3v2 basically there.
Yeah.
So it's just being careful with first time passes. It has to be, the risk has to be worth the reward. That's a good pass there going out wide. Yep, good goal. Nice play. I think this Lacroqueta, I'm not sure you needed to do it. When someone's kind of stood off you that far, you don't really want to do a trick. He defended the trick nearly perfect. When you're defending tricks, you want to stand off, but not too much, so you can see the animation, then step in. He just stood off a bit too much, but it was a bit risky doing the trick. And there with Neymar, it's a good turn and finish. It's one of the reasons Neymar's so good, the 5-star weak foot. Anyone watching this on YouTube, I sometimes do these live sessions on my stream. Obviously, we're doing this for a video as well. And anyone watching in the stream right now, this will probably go live on YouTube in the next couple of days. Okay, so good start here, Stephen. I'm going to assume that it might have crumbled a bit, though, if you've picked this game out.
Maybe.
Okay, I like this so far. I don't like the kind of running jockeying. I'd rather you just generally jockey. Yeah, it's great, that Stingray. Do you see where you're running jockeying? Your players just move so fast that if he needs to do a sharp turn in the box, you're not going to be able to adjust as quick.
Yep.
I don't really see much benefit of running jockeying on the game. Running jockeying on the game. I think jockeying just gives you more control in the box.
Okay,
that's good defending. It's one of the reasons you want to get your midfield behind the ball around the box, because that extra body of Marquinhos then just helped you out.
Yeah, what I try and do. So I used to watch my own videos, and I noticed that I was bringing my CDMs out. And I know there's no CDMs on this formation, but
the two players, the midfielders, yeah.
Yeah, so I was defending with my CDMs as opposed to like my Lamb and my Ram. So now I try to keep my CDMs in the middle of the park and get them goal side.
No, it's important. One of the things that I've noticed on this game a lot is a lot of people don't touch the midfield enough, and when you don't defend with your midfield, they generally just stand there a lot. They don't really do anything. So you have to get them back behind the ball to make sure they do. Here, this was a good dead stop fake. But you have to assess the situation. Here, I'd maybe think there's a chance you could have done a double tap through ball just there. It would have been a hard pass, but that is one of those risk-reward passes that could have come off. Whereas here, there's nothing going to go on there, really, is there? Nothing's really on. It's just lifting your head up and being a bit more. I think here, Stephen, you got into this like trap a lot of people do, where you already planned what you was going to do and then didn't change it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think I was going to do that irrespective of what he did.
Yeah, exactly. And on FIFA, you do want to be have plans in your head of how something's going to go, but then it's important not to have tunnel vision and just do that no matter what. You do also have to react to what the opponent gives you sometimes. So there, you ended up blocking it, but you was kind of all over the place with the running jockey, and just it's not giving you enough control. You've played out the back quite well so far. Okay, again there, that's risky playing the first time pass. If you don't have to play a first time pass, I would generally not, just because of the extra risk it involves. This is a nice pass. Good play. That was unlucky. Maybe he could have turned. Let's look. Yeah, maybe just turn that way, just to face it. It's not like a completely 180 pass. But if you'd have just turned that way and then passed it, I think it just has that extra bit of zip on it. Whereas because you're facing this way, for him to like turn his body and go like that, just again puts a little air on the pass. You also get a bit of looking at.
I get into that position quite a lot. So what do you think I should do there? Because that's where I've been trying to do fake stop, La Croqueta. But to be honest, I'm not great at it.
There, rather than a fake stop, I don't think you need to do that. I would have been, when I was getting here, I'd have been ball rolling it up, left stick turning there. Because you can see here, these guys are making runs and you've got an overlap. Rather than just stick to doing the dead stop like a care every time, mixing a ball roll around here, ball roll that way to change your angle, and then you can pass to Neymar running in. I think that would have just been a bit more fluid. Whereas here, because you've gone the whole way without stopping, you've stopped there and then tried to make the pass. It's just a bit too late then. Does that make sense? Okay. Just cutting in with the ball roll a bit earlier. Ball rolls aren't tricks really to take it round someone unless it's a one-on-one with a keeper, but they are good for just adjusting angles. Here, it's a good pass to Neymar. I would have been maybe looking to do like a quick fake shot that way, just to burst past him, and Neymar's got the dribbling ability to do that. You also could have maybe gone there and tried to do a quick bridge dribble, but shooting from here, I don't know if he was trying to do a fake or misclicked or something.
It was meant to be a fake shot, that, I think.
Yeah, I thought it might have been, but yeah, a fake shot there could have been good. You're right, Cole. How you doing, mate? That was good. You got unlucky there. Sometimes you can do the right thing and get punished, but that's what I want to see you doing, like marauding across the midfield there. Zakaria is really good at that. He's like the Swiss Vieira on this game. Look at him box to box.
I want to get rid of him and use what's his name, the Canadian left back, but he's good.
Davies. Yeah, Davies is another level to him, but yeah, Zakaria is good. Here, a lot of people do this. So this pass there's fine, but you pass here and you have to think, what are you achieving here? You're passing to a guy who's 2 yards from you. Here, what I would do, and this is like, it's higher level FIFA, but if you can start to add it to your game, it's a big thing. It's, you're here in a good position where you've got your opponent in 2 minds. Does he mark this run from Mbappe or does he step and mark you? So he's going to have to make a decision here. But what you do here, Stephen, that the mistake, is you make the decision for him. You rush it. You should wait for Mbappe to run there and then go there, and he has to guess the right option. But here, because you play it so quick, you do it for him. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Whereas here, as well, that pass, you just pass him to him, and he has to take a good touch. Then he's just going to get tackled basically straight away. And he doesn't tackle you because he doesn't step in. He should have just stepped in and got the ball off you. But there as well, the left foot from Mbappe, maybe if it's team of the year Mbappe, but a shot from there or thereabouts, the edge of the box, just isn't going to work generally on a weak foot. Weak foot shooting outside the box is really bad on this game.
Okay.
Okay, that's good. It's one of the reasons the 5-back's so good. When you get the men behind the ball, it's just hard to break down. It's good. Great build-up, though. No, I'm in a coaching session now.
So that chance then with Alessandrini, I think, I get that quite a lot, where I've beat someone down the wing and then I've moved it into the box, but there's 2 or 3 people in front of me. Now, in my mind, I would like to do a fake stop, La Craqueta, but I never do it when it's the actual time. What do you think I should do?
Around the box, the dead stop La Craqueta is really good. Is really good when you get it around here. If you can get it and like cut in, and you can mix the angle. One of the things that's good with it is that you can just do it that way. You can do it that way, mix it up. But I don't think you should, like we were saying earlier, I don't think you want to tunnel vision into just spamming the dead stop La Craqueta, if that makes sense. You want to mix it in and have a few other tricks. When you like, from what you're saying as well, I think you're trying to like master a few tricks. Would that be fair?
I never really use skill moves, to be honest. Like I never do ball rolls. The only thing I do is a fake shot. So I'm trying to implement them, which the one that I looked at was, because everything just keeps getting nerfed. So I just forget it. I'm just going to do fake shot La Craqueta because that seems to be the one that everyone's talking about that hasn't been nerfed and possibly won't be.
A lot of skill moves on this FIFA, patch after patch. We're getting a different nerf every patch. But like the main ones I would be using right now would be the bridge, the dead stop La Craqueta. Ball rolls are one of the best tricks that anyone can ever learn on FIFA because they're simple And whilst they're not going to beat him, man, they're just always going to be useful because they're just good for creating angles and protecting the ball. Here, you've just got to be careful with this pass. I don't know where you've aimed it, but obviously there we just got to pass it there.
I think I just rush it, to be honest. I'm panicking because he's round my box.
Yeah. That's what you just got to try to keep your head.
And again.
Yeah, the worst thing you can do is panic and start giving the ball away. Going out wide quite often is good because there's normally space out wide, but he seems to have a lot of men marking there, and there always seems to be a free option here. So it's just adapting quick and looking what you see on the pitch. And because you're on co-op, you've got a lot of vision to look at.
Yeah.
Okay, here I'd be like jockeying and stepping towards him there.
Right, okay.
Not running jockeying. It was good defending, but jockeying will just make it easier. Okay, here.
Wouldn't jockeying be too slow there, though? Wouldn't he just outpace me?
Nah, because players on the ball this year are not that fast, especially in tight spaces. A lot of people try the jockey and give up because they end up getting beat too easy, but that's because they're not doing it right and they're not positioning right. If you don't panic and stand your ground and jockey right, you are never going to get dribbled around, basically. The only time that I would ever get dribbled around when I'm jockeying would be basically when like it might be here and they've got a 5-star weak foot and can go either way, if that makes sense. But in this position, no one would ever beat me if I had Mendy there. And you defended it all right, but the jockeying there, because you were sprint jockeying, it did open up a little gap that he could have exploited, but he didn't do it well.
Okay.
Here as well, you can't be giving the ball away here, especially when it's 45th minute. I believe 45th minute, 90th minutes are like kickoffs. The last thing you want to do is panic. This is just where you've got to be composed. And obviously, it's like you're thinking, okay, Zell says don't panic. What does that actually mean? It's like, okay, slow it down, pick your man out in space, take a touch. If he's right up your backside there, fair enough, I get the panic. But you've got time here. So take a touch this way, look for the men, use the advantage of co-op where you get lots of options on the screen. But you're doing a lot of first-time passes and panicking, and that's just going to hold you back. Because I'll be interested to see what your pass accuracy is. But I don't feel your pass accuracy is going to be bad because you're not passing to the right players or forcing passes that aren't there. It's because you're panicking and playing first-time passes a lot of the time.
Okay.
That was good defending.
Yeah, that could have been a pass down to Marquinhos there, shouldn't it? An easy pass.
Just recycling it. Okay, we're going to go to the second link. Second half. Appreciate that, Sharp Tooth Bites. Anyone who's tuned into the stream, we are recording a live coaching session now with Stephen. Gold free player, Division 5. If you have anything you spot that you think you can add, please let me know. But yeah, I'm not going to respond in lots of the chat because of that. Okay, there. You're more than happy to let him shoot from there. That's fine. You maybe stood off a little bit too much, and if he had a better player than I think Benzema, and it's a better player operating behind the player, standing off that much might be a bit of a risk, but it wasn't too bad, and we're more than happy for someone to shoot from there. It's never really going to be too dangerous, is it?
Cool.
That there's a great opportunity to do a ball roll. When someone's like here, just ball roll it there, left stick and turn there, because they can't get the ball off you when you do that. There's no way when you ball roll there to get it. And that's why I'm talking about the ball roll is just good at protecting the ball and creating angles.
I think I started panicking because I noticed it was Kunde and I thought, oh my God, what's he doing?
Yeah. Okay, here. Take a touch. Take a touch and then try shoot a cross goal. Or, I think you can take a touch and shoot a cross goal there because it's so close. The other option could have been take a touch there and pass to him. Play that extra pass. It's easy when I pause it with hindsight to be like, do this. Because I can pause it and freeze it. But I definitely think here there was no reason to take the first time shot. You had more than enough time to do that.
Right.
It was offside anyway, I guess, but yeah, in general speaking, that's what I'd be looking to do. So there again, when you're running jockeying, you're kind of standing off a bit too much, whereas if you jockey, you can just close it down a bit better.
Yeah.
Good defending so far, though. You've not really opened too much up. I just think a better player could exploit the lack of normal jockeying as much. You're just giving it a little bit too much space at times. Okay, here, was this a pass to feet or a through ball? Okay, there, you've only done 1.5 bars of power. You can see at the bottom. Mbappe here could get in on goal. I'd be putting like 3-4 bars of power there. Mbappe is on that perfect angle. And Mendy isn't Xavi on the ball. He ain't going to play an amazing pass every time. But you should be doing a lot of power on this through ball to try and get Mbappe in, because this is where Mbappe shines with his pace.
Right, okay. That's not really something that I ever do. I think I always do about the same power for any pass.
Yeah, you want to adjust based on distances generally. Here, let go of sprint, and you can see here, he's ready to dive in on you. This is where the perfect time to do the bridge and just burst past him. I'm assuming you've seen the bridge and seen people use it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great chance there at that angle when they're about to dive in. Yeah, that's a good point people in the stream have made as well. Maybe one thing that could help your attack a bit more and just open up a few more options is pressing LB. I get why you lost the ball, that's fair enough. But pressing LB when you do a pass, just to trigger a run.
Yeah.
It's a good way of getting a lot more options and maybe making you not panic as much. It also makes it hard for the opponent to defend, because they had more to think about.
In my mind, I think I press LB loads, but evidently I'm not.
I wouldn't say you're not doing it at all, but I think you could definitely do more. Is this a through ball? I think this is probably a through ball because you've done 1 bar of power. If it's a through ball, it's hard to tell. Sometimes normal passes do through balls. Sometimes through balls do normal passes. It's annoying. But if this was a through ball, this definitely should have been a pass. Just a short pass to feet. It's always going to be the play. The extra pass here is really good. That was a really good choice. But if you did a through ball there, then that was a bad choice, obviously, because there's not a lot of space to run onto. It's a shame because it was a great attack. You build up at times, it's good. It just seems like you just make the final pass sometimes isn't right, or you're just panicking, doing things first time, rushing it a bit. But the thought process there is good.
Cool.
Yeah, too ambitious, really. If Lewandowski's there and you're trying to do the pass to there, it's okay. But there's just not enough space here, really, for him to get in.
So recycle that there.
Yeah, recycle, just look for something else. It's fine Lewandowski making runs like that and stretching the opposition, but you just have to be aware of when it isn't going to be viable.
Yeah.
Good defending there. That was good recycling. Okay, yeah, obviously there, just being aware of the offside.
Yeah, miles off. I knew it before I hit it, but it was another one of them things where I was going to do the pass, whatever I saw.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying earlier. It's good to have plans, but you also have to react to what the game and the opponent gives you. Do you know how to cancel passes?
Yeah. So, well, just press both bumpers.
Yeah. Okay, here, this is where the running jockeying has hurt you. You've stood off him too much, and it's just given him too much space. You've done really good job so far this game of getting your midfield back, but you've seen what's happened this time when you didn't get your midfield back. They're just stuck there. You've kind of dove in a bit there and just let him make this run. You always should be, when defending, marking the most dangerous option. And the most dangerous option, obviously, is going to be this guy running through on goal.
Yeah.
And there, you shouldn't step back there because you don't want him to get back for the cutback there. If he'd have stepped back there and you had gone there, well, it's not too big a deal because you've still got these guys covering around here and you can quickly turn and get that. But when you dive in there, the dangerous option's him getting here, and then it just allows him to make that pass and you switch a bit late. So there, you kind of just overcommit. You don't want to overcommit to something. You want to just follow where he can go. And the most dangerous thing is him going there. It's not him turning back. So even if you think he's going to do that, unless you are certain, which obviously you can't be there, you just have to mark and go that way. Does that make sense?
Right, okay, yeah, I get you. So I make that little movement because I'm just presuming that that's what he's going to do.
Yeah.
But obviously, even if he does do it, I shouldn't mark it because the other option's worse. Yeah, I get you.
It's the risk reward. The risk, I would have expected him to do what you predicted, but the risk of him going there and you going for that is too high for the reward of him doing that and you marking it. Because the risk of this is probably conceding a goal. Whereas the risk of you marking there and him going there is he's still in a pretty good position. He's still in a pretty good position there, but it's nowhere near as dangerous as him getting here to pass. Because you probably should here now switch straight away and mark there. But the problem is, even if you mark there, he could have just turned and shot there anyway. So it's just being a bit more calculated. Like I say, the priority when defending should be getting the midfield back first. And if you don't get the midfield back, let's turn my heater off before that gets too noisy. If you don't get the midfielder back, then you need to then mark the most dangerous thing, and that's hurt you there.
Yeah.
Okay, again, rushing from kickoff. Kickoffs are a great chance. So you look here, this is what I'm talking about. How many men do you have in his half there? 2?
Yeah.
And you have 1 barely. Even if you beat him with a tap, what are you going to do here? And you weren't going to beat him with a tap, you've just rushed it forward, sprinting into a space where it wasn't really an option. You've got like 8 men to beat. So, kickoff, you just want to take your time a bit more and build it up more slowly. That was good. I liked that. Okay, when you do this here, it's a bit of a risky pass doing it. Because, again, you're kind of a bit outnumbered. But you need to try turn this way, really, to protect the ball, I would say.
Which way, sorry? Down?
Down, yeah, because up is just turning into the army. Thank you, man.
In my mind, I was turning towards Neymar to try and lay it off, but yeah.
Yeah. Was that a fake shot?
Or I think so.
Yeah, I think there I'd have been looking to turn and try to get to one of these guys.
Yeah, I mean, with it paused there, I'm thinking, what on earth am I shooting there for?
Yeah. I don't think you were shooting with Lewandowski, but here as well, this was always going to get blocked. I get in the panic of the moment you like quick open net, but you just have to know on this game nearly everything's always going to get blocked, and it's annoying, but it's just taking that extra touch.
Yeah.
Skip ahead of this. Yeah, Demis has brought a good point up in the chat. The scoop turn's an amazing trick to use. I didn't mention that. I don't think the skill moves, but the scoop turn's amazing. The ball roll scoop, if you can learn it, with Neymar's insane. It's quite a more complicated one to do, and it would take a bit of practice, but if you can get that in your locker, it is very good, but it is a 5-star skill. Let's have a look here. Okay, there. You have to think here, what are you really achieving here? Where's the danger that you're marking there?
Yeah, nowhere.
There's nowhere. Where do you think the danger I'm going to say is here?
Well, one of the 2 players in the box in the middle. Above.
It's around here, isn't it? Either he passes there to this guy, or he passes there to this guy. As Zakaria, you've done the right thing by getting your midfielder back. That is really good. But you've not really done a lot with him. You should always be looking to achieve something with whoever you're controlling, and you've achieved here marking a spot that's already marked by 3 players.
Yeah.
I get why it happens, but it's just here. If you'd have had him here, there's no danger. And there, you see it, but it's just a bit late. And then he turns you. And here, you probably shouldn't have let go of Zakaria. If you'd have kept Zakaria and jockeyed, I think you would have tackled him anyway. Let's have a quick look.
Right, yeah.
You kind of recover here, but I think there's a bit of panic there and switch. If you'd have just held jockey with Zakaria there, you tackle him anyway. But I think because you made the initial error, you panicked, and that panic led to a goal.
Yeah.
And then he does the chicken dance. Okay, you've gone backwards from the kickoff. That's better. We're learning. Okay, this here would have been an amazing bridge opportunity.
Right, okay.
Go there, and if he doesn't start running that way, bridge him there, and you're in on goal. The bridge, like, I spam it in Div 1. I spam it against Elite 2, Elite 1 players and score lots of goals with it. So, no disrespect, but if you're playing against Division 5, Gold 3, Gold 2 players, it's going to be lethal if you can get it in your locker. Do you know what I mean? And
so when I'm one-on-one facing the goal?
One-on-one, it doesn't work on this side as well, or on that side on the other, because the bridge always does it at the same angle, an animation, but on this side of the box, on that side of the box it is good. So on that box there, you want it there. On this box there, you don't want to do it there or there. But with Lewandowski here, you don't want to do it like completely horizontal. You want to do it slightly diagonally, like maybe like 20, 30 degrees, if that makes sense. Do it there and just burst. Don't sprint. Let go of sprint. Lull him in. Full sense of security. Then just burst past him. And if you can get that down, it is amazing. And it is a very easy trick to do. You don't need to flick the sticks. Just double tap R1. The key is setting yourself and getting the angle. And Lewandowski and Neymar are amazing at it. Okay, here, I think you get a bit lucky there. Like, he's been a bit screwed over there. Like, this guy's... And also, what do you think I'm going to say?
Don't know. Oh, the second pass. Do a pass.
Do the extra pass. Like, here, I get your eyes have lit up. You see the headlines. You've got a goal, probably, you're thinking. But I cannot tell you how many times this shot gets saved. It shouldn't get saved. But this, again, when I'm talking about, yes, you've scored, but we're trying to do the most consistent thing that's going to get you the guaranteed goal. This here might be a 70, 80%, which is good. Here, it's probably a 99%. Because the odds of him messing up the pass and then Lewandowski messing up the shot are so low. And just playing that extra pass, that could be the difference. Like there at 2-1. If this is a Champs game, 90th minute, and it's 2-2, that could be the difference between you getting gold 2 or gold 3. Just playing the extra pass is huge. I didn't
expect to get the ball, so I just...
I get that. It's just always trying to look for it. At least you're honest. I like how you've built the team that your two like stars are the attackers, really. Not sure what you were thinking there.
No, me neither.
Yeah, there, ball roll, dead stop fake, look, turn back. I think you kind of as well. You could have done it a bit earlier. There, I'd have done probably a dead stop fake there and looked to go to Neymar. You've kind of dragged it a bit wide when you did have a few options in the middle. Okay, here. You do get the ball with Klostergaard, but you could have probably just had a midfielder doing this. And one of the benefits of the 5-3-2 is that it allows you to be more aggressive and pull a centre-back out. You can pull a centre-back out and get away with it a bit more. But there, you should have just kept controlling this guy, really.
Yeah.
I think it's Lewandowski. Just keep dragging him back. Yeah, we've been saying, Owen, that Stephen does running jockey nearly every time where he should be using the jockey a lot more.
At no point do I jockey. Never in the whole match have I jockeyed. I just wouldn't do it, I don't think.
Like I say, it might be a bit of short-term pain for long-term gain. You might you might find at the beginning that you're struggling a little bit when you're just jockeying because you might not be catching people as much. But I can promise you long-term, it will give you a lot more control over your defense. On previous FIFAs, running jockeying was very good. But on this one, I feel like in the box, it's not that hard to turn with a decent player. And the AI movement's a lot better. So when you don't have full control of your defense, they can get these goals where they just glide past you.
Cool.
Okay, there. You get unlucky because Atal does this stupid thing where you don't lock onto the ball properly. But there, turn that way or turn that way. Don't turn up into the defender.
Yeah.
Okay, you score, but reactions here, take a touch that way and go for a finesse. You don't want to shoot on his left. You could have again played the extra pass.
Yeah, it would have been. Passed it really, couldn't I?
It's one of these where I get in the moment not playing the extra pass because it's come out of nowhere, the chance, and you might be a little bit worried there of passing, and you might not quickly react and see this guy's playing him on. I think there, though, you should have turned up onto Lewandowski's right just for a finesse. Because
Yeah.
it's team near Lewandowski. It is very rare, again, that he will ever miss on his left from there. But we're talking about guaranteeing the chances. And those two last goals, whilst they're probably 70-80% chances, in another game where you might feel like you get rigged, they can miss. And
Yeah,
it's
if I
about,
was him, I'd be annoyed with that.
yeah, and it's about turning those goals into guarantees, and that can make the big difference every weekend. That's nice. Okay, there again, nice play, but just forced it. I mean, I don't mind. I don't know in the 90th minute if you're just kind of rushing it and it's a bit gung ho. You know, you're not going to concede anywhere. But like generally speaking, the fake shot's good. But there, I would not sprint, take another touch into around this area, and then look for one of these players to make a good run.
Yeah, it's another example of I was always going to make that pass,
Yeah,
whoever was there.
you need to get out of this cycle, Stephen, of no matter what you see on the pitch, you still do the same thing. The main thing that
Yeah.
that I would give feedback on from that game, and for anyone who's interested in coaching or watching this session, wondering how we do it, is that whenever I do one of these sessions, I upload it to YouTube as a private video. Obviously, this one's gone live on YouTube and has been live on Twitch. I did a special offer with Stephen where I gave him a discount, and Stephen's been a willing guinea pig, so to speak, to be for the YouTube video. But anyone who gets coach session, I upload it live as a private video for you to watch on YouTube in the future. Because obviously you might be thinking, Stephen, geez, like, how am I supposed to remember all this stuff? And I don't want people to have to take notes during the session because I want them to be able to concentrate on what we're talking about. Feel free to ask questions. And then at the end of the session, I'll give a rundown. We've got a second game, obviously, Stephen, but for this, I'm just putting one game on YouTube for the video. I'll upload the second one to you as a private one as well. But here, like the rundown from that game that I'm seeing is there is no way you should be hitting gold free based on what I'm seeing if you can implement a few things. The main issues I'm seeing, you defend well in terms of you reading the situations well, but do you agree do you think this is something you notice in your games that you don't feel you have much control over your defenders at times with this sprint
Yeah, I'm
jockeying?
overrunning. So when you said before I wasn't challenging enough, well,
Yeah.
I do that on purpose because I quite often run past them.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm not deliberately gone. I'm trying to stay goal side, and all of a sudden I've gone past them. I've overshot with the defender.
Yeah,
So that
yeah.
happens all the time.
Yeah, so a great way of avoiding that is jockeying. And like I say, you have to be careful not to almost, you say overrun, underrun it and let them burst past you. But once you get used to it in the position and the timing, you'll have a lot more control over your players. Panicking out of the back, you've got the best camera angle for playing out of the back. So try not panic. Try not first time passes. If you have the time to take a touch, do that. Look for the players in space. One thing someone said in the chat, and I agree with, is that you could use driven passes a bit more. You only want to use driven passes, one on strong foots and two facing the right way and three not on a first touch. But driven passes are a good way of making passes a bit more guaranteed over a distance. Try avoid some of the weak foot passes. You lost the ball a few times from that. Kickoffs, don't rush them. Take your time. Let it marinate a bit. What else was there? The skill moves. Bridge, scoop turn, ball roll. Try them to your game. The scoop turn and ball roll are not getting nerfed for the rest of this FIFA. I could be pretty certain of that. And the ball roll is 100% a trick that will always be effective on FIFA. The scoop turn's been pretty effective, to be honest, Stephen, for the last few years. The bridge might be useless next year. It's been amazing this year, so there's a good chance it'll be useless next year. But we've still got 7 months left of this game, and the bridge is still king at the moment in terms of the best tricks. Try get out of this cycle of like we kept saying it, where you just own in on one thing and you don't change what you're doing based on what you see. It's like you like must do this. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you got to be careful with that. Play the extra pass when you can. Try lift your head up, see the runs of the players in the box, and like honestly, I would say if you can do all those and start to do them, that will make you a lot more consistent. Gold 2 should be fine. And I can see Gold 1 potentially. Who knows what more after that, but I definitely think if you can start to do those, it will make you more consistent. It'll just give you a lot more control over the game. Yeah. Any questions?
No, so my next few games,
Yep.
what do you think I should concentrate? Because there's quite a lot of points there. Which ones do you think I should try and concentrate on?
The main things that I would say would be not panicking out the back, mastering the jockey, master the bridge because the bridge is that strong on this game, and then just with your passing, try not force it as much. Try play the passing a bit safe because just upping your pass accuracy straight away by not forcing these first time passes, not forcing passes because you did quite a few through balls as well that weren't properly on. Just that, all these things will make you more consistent. But if I had to give 3 things: bridge, jockeying, and not panicking on the ball.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. We will end that coaching session there. Thank you very much, guys on YouTube, for watching it. If you're interested in the coaching session, link in the description below. Get in touch.